Eat dick, blow bear bricks.
And I guess poop.
Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Hey, what's happening, forum? This is take 2. I'm Slidewhistle. What's up?
I am Immunization, and my Audacity stopped working, so here we are at take 2.
My name's Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. And speaking of the Horde, I'm looking to find a good lay on the Illidan server. Where would I go to do that?
Well, you go to
for the Horde.
you go to Seafarer's Rest. I knew that off the top of my head, and not because we talked about this in the previous recording.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, you are so smart to just remember that.
And from my prior knowledge that I acquired from RPing a lot as Horde, I know that that is outside of Silvermoon.
Wow, good thing that your sexual Horde RPing came in handy. Oh boy.
As you may have heard, I just cracked a cold one because you know what I did at work the other day? I found $15 on the floor. Hey, that's a wow sub.
I found $1 in a parking lot, but I didn't pick it up because I was like, I feel like I'm going to get stabbed out here if I try and grab some money that's not mine, and $1 is not worth dying.
I don't think I could ever pass by a $1 bill and not be like, this is mine now. I'm taking you home with me, baby.
I also feel like that's low enough that doesn't matter.
I don't want to bleed outside of a pot belly over a single dollar.
I mean, have you ever lived if you haven't bled outside of a pot belly for a single dollar, though? Like, that's quite a fucking day for you. I guess, if you survive at least.
That was one of the lyrics that Rob Thomas did not decide to put in Live Like You Were Dying.
But I do think that that is the title of a Fall Out Boy song on one of their earlier albums.
Is it?
You know that motherfucker is track 10 on From Under the Cork Tree.
And you know that the song actually has nothing to do with potbelly or bleeding or a dollar.
I do still want to make fun of Final Fantasy players. I still want to make fun of them. Can we mock them a little bit?
Yeah, well,
Okay. There's just zero context. Do you want to do the setup again, or do you want us to just fast forward to the making fun?
No, fuck my friends who want to play that instead of WoW. Let's just fucking harp on how weeb they are.
Everyone's just throwing their hands around like they're some sort of Vocaloid. Am I right?
Wait, so they have like a bard? No, they have a dancer class, right? Isn't that basically just a bard class? Is that a Vocaloid?
They have a dancer class. Truth be told, it's not like a Vocaloid because none of the Vocaloids can really dance very well.
I also don't know if classes are as rigid in that game. I think you can kind of do whatever, maybe. Although I don't really know. I only played it for like a day.
I didn't like it. It felt weird. It felt too Final Fantasy, which is bizarre because it's a Final Fantasy game. So that's how it should feel, I guess, right?
I had a Final Fantasy fan, like, literally grabbing my chair and whispering in my ear, trying to convince me to play that over WoW. So I feel like I had a tainted experience. But also when we went out and did stuff, I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, my guy is doing like 7,000 flips, but it's not really that much more engaging than anything else that happens in WoW.
You also could just play a Night Elf and do the same amount of flips when you jump around.
And you know I do every time I play a Night Elf.
Sure.
I'm just living for that every 33rd Worgen jump where they do a triple Lutz. It's hard to get on stream, but I've seen it so many times.
I'm still laughing at the triple Lutz.
It does. They're like hop, and then every so often they jump and they like flip 17 times in the air and then land like, yeah, that happened.
I live for how the Draenei every approximately 25th step have like a 1 or 2 step of like some Luber style river dance.
Ooh, give that fucking sweet ass Owen Lubers river dancing, baby.
Ooh, we're gonna get that Owen Lubers money.
He's killing the TikTok game right now. I'm glad that he made it over. He transitioned over from Vine.
So will I look up some Owen Luber's clips to just really make this night special? What did you boys do in the World of Warcraft this week? Slide, let's start with you. I'm putting you on the spot.
So I just farmed more gold like I did last week and the week before. My account has 3 million gold on it officially. So with immunes, 1 million gold lend, that puts me at 4 mil for this Brutosaur mount, and I am feeling the fucking pressure.
Yeah, I was going to say you had a little bit of a scare literally today because as we're going to talk about a little bit later, like we've realized that the PTR stuff is on the pre-patch stuff is on PTR, right?
Yeah. So I was like, does this mean they're gonna announce something soon, right? So I was like, I gotta farm gold. So
It was a little scary when I was playing on the PTR. Malfurion came up to me and he said, "Did you hear what happened to the Brutosaurs? They murdered every single one.
No.
There will never be another chance to get it. Hopefully you, traveler, can get a Brutosaur before we show up in 1 week."
I would be so pissed off. If they were just like, all right, guys, next week is pre-patch. Like, they can't do that because, like, you have, like, PvP seasons and stuff to, like, get ahead of an end. So I think I'm still okay, but I just really feel the walls are fucking closing in, man. I don't like it.
I wonder what the typical amount of time from when pre-patch is put on PTR to pre-patch going live to pre-patch ending and expansion.
You know, I really don't know the first part. Like, I don't know how long it's on PTR before it goes to, like, actual live. I have seen thrown around that pre-patch is usually 1 month out from release date. So I feel like I at least have a month buffer. Hopefully things don't change. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Nah, let's just do it now.
But the Brutosaur is leaving in pre-patch, right?
Yes. I just keep seeing everybody guessing October. I'm just going to hope for October and pray. That's just what I'm going to do. But yep, that's literally all I've done in WoW is just farm gold. I did do some PvP with y'all, and we did do the fucking Karazhan Ember Scale Ember Worm.
The big, smoky, crackly dragon.
Yeah, I was going to say the sick-ass fire dragon. And we did it in one reset because we remembered last week on the pod, and then we somehow got our entire 5-stack, all of our mounts, with some weird combinations of all of our alts, and a lot of luck because a few of us only had, like a few characters to run through this.
Yeah,
Cubby Bub literally had Cubby Bub. So it was like, she gets one shot at this.
Well, people will probably like, well, if you have 5 people, you only need 5 to get it. Except 2 of us had already gotten it before. And then we could only bring in, 3 of us or 4 of us to get the mount. So we had like a 40% miss chance. Like, 2 out of the 3 runs?
Yeah, and we did that in order to maximize Cubby Bub's chance on her one run she had with us.
And, oh shit, what was Logan's name we gave him? We gave him a fun name. Oh, Ugg, yeah. Ugg won the worm from Medivh. Or no, sorry, from Medivh's weird ghostly dragon friend. Can we talk about that first? What the hell is that fight? Who is that dragon who's attacking Medivh?
I don't know. They probably mentioned him in some facet in the, 5 hours of RP you have to do before fighting him. But honestly, I kind of zone out until, fireballs start launching.
He mentioned something about, Medivh's ghost. The worm who is a ghost knows he's a ghost. He's like, Medivh's ghost, you gotta leave Karazhan. He's like, I'll never leave Karazhan. He's like, well, I'll force you. Fireball. And then, of course, after the fireball is part 2, weak flame tornado. And then he's like, oh no, you hit me so much I became corporeal. But I think he's just some guy trying to get him out of his tower.
Oh, this is funny. His lore actually changed with the Chronicle books, him being the dragon, Arcanagos. I guess in the current lore, when Medivh opened the Dark Portal, he was like, I'm telling Mom, and he went to Medivh's mom, Aegwynn, and they both confronted Medivh about opening the portal. And then Sargeras was like, fuck you, dragon, I'm gonna kill you. and then he died. Which is funny because we literally see him die to Medivh on top of that tower. So that's some pretty freshly rewritten lore for him. But so a friend of the pod, Ugg, he got the mount, but it was Covey-Bub's only run because she has one character, because she's a little BF astronaut. She's a little baby, and he gave her the mount and risked his own life on a 20% mischance to get his mount this week, and we got it for him. So that was good.
Yeah. Also, I will say I forgot that we named these new players BF astronauts, but I just want to say again that I love that for us.
I'll never forget.
A true victory for us.
I have it tattooed on my foot.
So that you can wear socks and your dad won't see.
Yeah, it's a real Bubble Tiger / Glenn move.
I keep it hidden, and only those who I hit in the face with the piñata stick get to see it.
Our friend wanted to get a tattoo on his foot so no one could see it, not even him, and he did it. Which is like, why get a tattoo if nobody can see it? What's the point? He wore socks on the beach.
And then he did hit someone with a piñata stick during a piñata, and in his drunkenness was like, "No, I'll show you my tattoo," and that was her consolation prize.
Honestly,
I mean, it was really just Sweaty Gumbo convincing him to show her the tattoo because her cousin was the one that was hit, and she didn't know or care that he had a tattoo, so she was a little confused about what was happening.
Yeah. Because she was writhing in pain at her basically shattered kneecap that he swung. He missed the piñata 100%. Like, it was an upward angle, and he basically just kneecapped her instead. Wait.
Oh, Bubble Tiger.
Well, it was a hit job. It had to be a hit job.
I mean, I think everyone's just lucky that we chose not to use the heavy-duty dowel rod that he wanted to use.
And that shows you what kind of parties we have up here. But yeah. My week in WoW, just farming gold, farming mounts, and honestly, that's it. I'm just getting sucked into the gold game still. What about you, Mean? What was your week in WoW like?
So I was also pretty busy on a lot of different characters. I also casually started a little bit of gold farming on Metalloid. I picked up leather working and skinning and started the Taldasaurus strat, and you could just start it at like level 0 of both those skills and make 5k on your first run without any of the upgrades. So it's a pretty valid method, honestly. But then that made me think about my other characters and how I could possibly make gold with them. So then I finally finished making my enchanting tools of the trade with Immune. So I have that fancy enchanting rod now, which gives me a whole lot more mats whenever I disenchant anything.
I love that I told you to get this thing like 5 months ago, and you're like, nah, and now you got it.
I mean, I finished the quest line to get it. I just didn't quite finish collecting the materials to make it, because you have to grind out, like, killing mobs in Waycrest or, like, near Waycrest, and it was just too much of a hassle back then. It still kind of was too much of a hassle, and I still don't know if it's worth it.
And honestly, knowing what we know of the other end profession items you get, it probably didn't do much. This is the diamond in the rough that actually helps you.
Yeah, because like I think for the longest time in my mind, the rod only made it so that you could animate golems, but it also just gives you a passive, like your disenchanting is better. Like your chances are higher for getting the shards, and your chances for more procs of everything else is higher. So I think it's worth it in the end. I just didn't realize that, I guess. But then in addition to my professions things on those two characters, I also have been doing a lot of leveling. My Monk Extravaganza finished Darkshore, and she is, I think, about level 40 something now. So she's cruising. And then I have also been leveling my Rogue. I used my 110 boost that I've had forever on her so that we could run her through and increase everybody's chances at the Karazhan run. And then I've been leveling through BFA, and she is a few levels away from max now. She's, I think, 118.
Ooh. Now, I know that it's for, at least for Slidewhistle, it switches within the day. Has this character going higher and higher. Has that affected your own honkometer?
I mean, if I'm being realistic, I don't really have a honkometer. I'm going to be playing Immune first in Shadowlands, and that's that. But I do really enjoy playing Rogue. I think it may be a top contender for like an alt as far as like a DPS alt goes. I really like it right now. I'm playing Subtlety. But yeah, that's what I was up to in WoW this week.
Hey, what is a rogue's favorite drink?
Subtle tea.
Boo. I mean, and that's the real tea.
But
Okay, hold on. What does a rogue like best on their significant other?
Vanish, come, coins.
Their assassination.
All right, I mean, your turn.
I just want everyone to know that Cubby Bub did come in the room, frown at me, and say, and told me to shut the fuck up after that one.
Does she have a good outlaw pun to round it out?
Okay.
Oh no.
Miss, do you have
Immune's
an
getting out
outlaw
of this.
pun?
Where's your pun, Immune?
Okay, let me think here for a second.
I just want everyone to know that Cubby Bub did say she didn't need to do a pun because, quote, I'm an outlaw.
I'm the outlier.
Woo!
What's she lying about?
That gold she was gonna give me.
Ooh.
All right, fuck you. I mean, pass it to Aaron. Pass the buck. You and your no pun ass.
So this week in the World of Warcraft, I continued my adventures on my favorite law firm of 3 hairy men, Grumbins, and Grumbins. And I think we're getting to the point where I have done the same content on different guys so much that I just tune out. Like I sit in front of the computer and then I wake up 3 hours later and Grumbins is like, "We did it. We're in Legion now." And I'm like, "I don't remember getting here."
How did I get here? That's scary.
But we're in Legion now. We did all of Draenor in a day, and it's cool. I do not know if I have to get to 110 like the other ones, or if I have to get to 120. I really hope it's not 120, because I'm very ready to just start on the next guy. But here we go.
How do you level through Draenor?
This last time I just did all of Shadow Moon Valley, plus like the little bonus things that pop up, the little bonus quests. And I did not even get a chance to finish Shadow Moon Valley before I had my levels and I had to leave.
If you want to keep it fresh, you should do the treasures next time, because those treasures give you so much EXP, and all you do is fly around and just grab little boxes, and that's it.
And I bet with the experience boost, that even just makes that more valid. And if you want to be really extra, I'm sure you could grab a potion too, and then like literally just picking treasures. That's insane.
Well, I have at least 2 more iterations of this, so I'll have to do it on one of them. Also, I am announcing this now. I'm not playing them yet, but their names are Young Mouthbottom and Old Fingerhead. I did get them.
I love that. What? Which one is which?
If I remember correctly, Old Fingerhead is a Dark Iron Warlock? ? And I believe Young Mouthbottom is a Lightforged Draenei Paladin, because they all got to be Paladins.
Mine is a warrior, which is like a fake paladin, because I'm gonna like make him look like a one.
I'll say it's a paladin.
Why did I think you were gonna say you were about to announce Grumbins as your Shadowlands main? I was like, what the fuck? What's going on?
No, Grumbins is not. So this is everyone get out your cream and sugar here. This is the tea. There are characters that I've done for this that I just hate. I did not like Gelbin 2. I did not like him at all. It was tough to play him through those 100 and some levels. Grumbins is just like the most medium moot of characters. Like I play him and I don't die as much, but it feels like there's no soul to it.
Were there any characters on these level 3s that are in the top 2 category, possibly approaching honkometer levels?
My boy Randleman is a serious top toot. He will not dethrone Growliina.
Oh.
But I would say I like him more than maybe like Wigglestein. So he's breaching the top 3.
Well. Wigglestein experiences even more disappointment.
God,
Who
poor
knows what
Wiggles.
Shadowlands will bring with him? But Wigglestein he knows his place. He's that old friend where you guys haven't spoken to each other since junior year of high school, but you can pick it up, say hi every so often, say like, oh, we're going to hang out next time we're town. And then you don't for like 3 years, but then you do. And it's like, things are still okay.
Whew. True friends.
But that's me.
Did you guys hear that we fucking did it? We won the fight against Blizzard.
What happened?
As of 1 hour, 1 minute ago of recording, Shadow Meld Night Fae Soulbind trait removed in Shadowlands build. Nobody gets to be a Night Elf with their abilities anymore, bitches. So it was a very similar
We
ability.
were tired of being of one thing being stolen, so we tanked the experience for everyone.
Blizzard heard the clanking of us firing up our guillotines. They were scared. They were like, we can't do this. And they relented. But, we do not relent.
Hell no. So they removed it and they replaced it with Run Without Tiring, which is a very terrible name. And what
Do
it does,
I even need to ask what it does? I feel like it's kind of there.
while in soul shape, you regenerate 5% of your maximum health every 3 seconds. So this sounds like a really annoying, like those fucking shamans that just fucking heal in their fucking wolf form. Something like that, but just not as strong.
But imagine it stacked with the already shaman trait.
Well, oh fuck, God. Well, that's gonna be dead, I hope, with Azerite being dead. However, on the Wowhead article, in the conclusion section, what's their name here? Author of the post, Squishay, wrote, Shadow Meld is very powerful, and I'm almost surprised it hasn't gotten changed, like Arcane Torrent. But for now, skips will have to be done via stealth, death run, or other methods, unless you're a Night Elf. I didn't like that they were trying to be like, hey, Blizzard, this could be nerfed really easily if you really wanted to. So I did some research into Squishay to see if they were Horde or Alliance. And what do you guys think? Are they Horde or are they Alliance?
That
Horde.
motherfucker's, that's a fucking forsaken warlock if ever I've heard it.
Or a salty blood elf because they, picked blood elves because they were more physically appealing to them, but they really know that they should have been a Night Elf.
So I'm not sure on the race, but they are a fucking Horde, and they're also a raid leader of a guild on Zul'jin. Interesting that they're trying to pass little rhetoric here that maybe we should nerf Shadow Meld because it's too strong, because I can't have it anymore.
Especially in raids, I can't have that thing.
Get out of here, Squishay. I'm coming for your job. I'm going to be a Wowhead editor after I finish my gold making scheme. That's my next goal in life. Right? Alliance slanted posts.
Everyone thinks that Slide is going to buy the Brutusar with his several million gold, but he's going to buy off Wowhead.
I'm going to pull a method. Ooh.
Are they still in the doghouse for being baddies?
Oh, after the first allegations of being bad, they also apparently in the Nihilotha race against Limit, it was confirmed that Method did real money trading for real dollars. So they put real cash down to buy real gold from shady vendors. So they're double in the doghouse now.
Well, we've already talked about other people raiding and other famous raiders, but we can slip into what we've done in raid recently.
It was aight.
I say you guys can. I did something else.
Yeah, I mean, we did our Jaina run as usual, and we had a little bit of drama about people leaving the guild, which I don't remember if that was spoken about already or not. But,
It was not.
or if it's even worth mentioning, because you're like, whatever. But other than that, we just did more alt runs, so.
Our healer that I recruited left the guild in the middle of the night trying to be sneaky and got caught pulling his last tune out, so we cornered him and asked him questions. He's like, you guys are too clicky. And it's like, well, you're not wrong, but rude.
I would also like to put on the record, the three of us are not the clicky ones at all, that what he was referencing. There's a whole other group of people who run all their Mythic Pluses together, and I think that's what he was referring to.
However, all those people also I've seen them run Mythic Pluses with him. So I don't know what he's crying about. Like, it's kind of silly. Like, it's cool to find a new guild, that's fine. But his reasoning and trying to leave in the middle of the night, like, sneakily was like, come on. Like, have a little more respect for us than that, than just trying to sneak off.
And personally, respect for you, because you tracked him down, found that he posted on Reddit looking for another guild, and then asked him about it on Reddit, and then he's like, wait, I think you're thinking about somebody else. Who is this?
And I'm like, bitch, you removed me from BNet without even saying anything, so I don't want to hear it. I know all of your tune names, blah, 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 blah. I also may have messaged people who were trying to recruit him to be like, hey, heads up, he just left us in the middle of this, just so you know. You know, just a little information for the soul. A bind. But yeah, so we did Mythic Jaina, that was fine. We had one of the surprisingly best heroic Nyalothas of our life, which I'm confused about because we were all on alts.
Yeah, on Il'gynoth, we beat every single phase without having mind control at all the entire way, which, like, that's like some main shit for us. Like, we've never had it so easy on our alts before. We struggled hard the last few weeks on that.
That's what I'm so confused about, because our mains have never done that, but we did it on alts. So do we just gear our alts fast enough to just be able to just blast through it? Because we were doing hella damage. Like, we one-shot every single boss in there, which for our raid group is fucking impressive as shit. And then also, it was probably one of the raunchiest raids we've ever had. I swear to God, we spent 15 minutes talking about 15-inch long anal beads. And I'm like, guys, what's going on? What are we doing?
And then it spilled over into the Discord chat afterwards. Like the chat posting, and then also just like physically talking. I'm like, I did not know this guild was capable of talking in this way for such a prolonged period of time.
Yeah, weren't we the guild where you couldn't curse in chat as of like a year ago?
Yeah, but that was before the coup. That was before we moved over and got rid of all of the people who didn't want to be associated with us anymore.
Yeah, if you go through the Discord, Aaron, you can see GIFs that we posted after raid night, and they're all in relation to 15-inch long anal beads. Or was it 15 foot, not inch? It was 15 feet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was feet.
I don't know how that even started, but literally, it was the overarching theme of the night. Like, that's like whenever a joke was made, people would brought it back to the anal beads, and I'm like, how are we doing this? But we were all laughing. It was an okay time.
Yeah, it was fun, and it left everyone with a high morale, high enough that we have collectively decided that this week we are doing mythic progression again.
Which is fine.
We're back to business.
I want to chomp some bosses' dicks in half. I'm in.
And it'll be fun for me.
Don't say that about Rathion.
Ew.
That's Anduin's property.
But it'll be fun for me to play on my main again. I feel like I've been raiding on Metalloid for like the last several weeks. Besides Jaina, sometimes I would do Immune. But yeah, it'd be nice to see Immune again in raid.
That's what kind of worries me, is that I feel like a lot of us have just been on our alts, and I'm like, how do I raid as a Death Knight? I've been playing my Demon Hunter.
I'm worried that I haven't played Growliina except for when we went into Karazhan for like a month. So like, I'm worried I don't remember how to be her.
And like, I've also been doing all my gold farming on my Demon Hunter slide. So I've just kind of been living in a Demon Hunter state of mind. So it's going to suck Oh my god, no! I forgot about how terrible Raphion's Mythic Slow is. And I'm gonna be on my slow character after playing a Demon Hunter for the past 3 weeks. Fuck me, god damn it.
Just play your Demon Hunter anyways.
No, Kata literally asked me. Yesterday, she was like, hey, Slide, are you going to bring your Death Knight or your Demon Hunter? And I was like, I'm bringing the Death Knight because my Demon Hunter cape is literally level 1. So I'm not even going to bother bringing him in for Mythic Raid. I was sad to say that, but he would be doing so much less damage than my Death Knight would be. However, if I'm dead, how much damage am I really doing?
I'll try to keep you alive.
Wow, try.
Growliina, at least 2/3 of this podcast needs to go pee-pee in the toilet. How about you give us 1 to 2 minutes to do that?
Make that 3/3.
Wow! Good evening, everyone. Growliina here, dishing out the goss when it's red hot. I'm joined on the floor today by Grandpa Bull as we discuss the possibility of Naga as an allied race. So, Gramps, you say it could happen? Well, they have nearly all the same classes as us, and we already know they're plate and mail wearers, so the blueprints are there. And with Najatar exposed, I feel like we're in the best place to get some bonus Naga content. Wouldn't you say the lack of legs for pants and shoes, or the ability to wear a helmet, might hinder them? Well, just look at the Worgen, or Mechanomes. They can barely do anything. I feel like it's not out of the norm to have a race where half the stuff is invisible. Gramps, I pulled you on here to shame you, but you're making some solid points. I'm holding out hope for you. Maybe one day I'll stand shoulder to shoulder with a fish boy. Until that day, here's the back half of the show. Take it away, boys. Wowzers zowzers! What a scoop!
Scoopity poopity, scoopity poopity.
Oh, that Growliina, always scooping to poopita.
She is a sanitation worker. She is often scooping the pooping.
Is she also running for president this year in the general election?
No. No, she couldn't get the vote. She's hanging out with Mayor Pete, and they're both just sort of being like, we could have done it.
Does she also claim to have won the Iowa caucus?
She threw her name in there, right?
She was actually, it was a big thing that American Samoa threw their 1% behind Tulsi, but American Momoa, as in Jason Momoa, voted for Growliina, and I think that counts too.
That's a pretty big get, honestly.
That's probably at least one delegate, right?
Yeah, Jason Momoa, political senator.
But so part of the reason why I got so nervous about my gold making, as Immune said earlier, is that the Shadowlands class changes and pre-patch stuff has hit PTR as of 3 hours of us recording ago. And the new screen, the new WoW login screen for creating your character is honestly, I've seen it in pictures, but seeing it animated in front of me is kind of wild, and I think I like it for the most part.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, the
I
interface
just spent
is
time
so cool.
going back and forth between just selecting the different classes, which now do sick animations of their spells or abilities. I'm like, ooh.
I feel like something about the UI bothers me. I don't know if it's the lack of borders around Alliance and Horde selection. It feels like it's almost too open for me, which sounds weird because it looks good, but I don't know.
I think I know what you mean, and I think that'll be fixed when they add in the allied races.
It just looks very mobile game-ish, mobile game choose your character-ish. But the animations of when the classes come in, it looks so good. And I love that they finally updated each classes outfits to be like current, or not current, but to be old tiers of transmog.
Really random selections, I feel like, but I think it's overall a cool touch.
Yeah, I feel like there are some, so there's like, for warriors, there's the Order Hall outfit, which like, yeah, that's about as warrior as a warrior can get. It's specifically crafted for them. But then for priest, it's the Old Deer outfit.
Yeah, it was like...
And I'm like, okay, like I wouldn't even say that's the most angelic or most priestly of the ones we've seen.
No, it was like normal Old Deer gear. I'm like, excuse me, this is just like some brown stuff. I'm like, it's like not holy at all, I don't think.
They also weirdly, like, I get why they didn't include it, but I would say one of the defining traits of the older raid sets is the headpiece. And obviously, if you put on the headpiece, it's going to cover up her entire face. But it's really weird to choose that set that looks the most incomplete without its, like, most defining piece of it. I don't know. But man, like, we've talked about a lot of these options you can customize. But just seeing them in front of you just feels so different. Like, if you don't have it yet, download the PTR and just scroll through all the options for character create. Hit that random button. There's so many surprises in there.
Just whatever you do, don't pick monk. Just don't.
Why's that?
The whole monk punching thing makes it where they can't do a bunch of dynamic animations. The character just rolls in and then does like 1,000 fist punch, but it doesn't look great when you're like not walking with it or when you're facing it. Cubby Bob and I watched it and we were like, oh, it was a rare misstep for all the other ones, which were pretty cool.
And then I feel like in that same vein, like, you can tell which classes got affected the most by some of these changes. I feel like for the Alliance, that the Dwarfs and the Night Elves got some of the most largest sweeping changes. Like, they have so much more options. Like, being able to separate the eyebrows from the mustache and the beard. And on Night Elves, like, I don't have to fucking have that I have the haircut that I have because it gives me the least bushiest eyebrows without it being no eyebrows. So now I can fucking customize that shit to my fucking heart's desire and put little vines in there. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and across the board, I feel like you can just make your characters bald too, which is a cool new customization. I was just watching Slide go through some of these customizations on the randomizer, and I was like, whoa, that's a female dwarf? Like, no part of that right now looks like anything I've ever seen on a female dwarf before, which is a compliment because, like, I don't think female dwarfs are as bad looking as a lot of people think they are, but it's a compliment that, like, you could just make it look so completely different than anything we could see right now.
I feel like we're going to see a lot more female dwarfs. So much of the random options for female dwarfs look so badass. And especially if you don't have the Dark Iron Dwarfs unlocked, which I'm sure a lot of returning players will not, it's going to be a hot-ass alternative. Those feathers look so cool in their little hair behind their little ears. Did you look at the undead, Aaron? Did you see that you could put in?
I did not. The only Horde race I looked at was the orcs, specifically female orc, because Karen Ironbane is a female orc. But even that, I was just goofing around with things, and it looks so fucking cool. And I would never jump ship, but compared to what the Worgans can do now, which they've received a bunch of updates, so for Shadowlands, they didn't get as much of changes, versus orcs, where like it feels like a whole new character. I'm like, damn, I don't blame folks for playing the Horde.
Yeah, I saw the picture that Aaron shared in our little group chat, and it was of one of the female orc customizations that he had going on, and I'm like, wow, this is exactly what my, like, class fantasy of playing, like, an orc warrior would be if I were to play one.
Meanwhile, I was looking at the goblins to see what Gum Gums look like, and I just got this nasty-ass bald-headed goblin with no features, and I'm like, who's doing this? No one better fucking make this ugly female goblin like this. But the undead, I was just like, it looks so awesome. having the ability to hide their bones. Like, they look so good with like the regular closed skin, or if you want to have like a medium in between, like that mottled skin, or it's like starting to decompose but not quite. There's gonna be like, we're gonna see so many cool looking people walking around now. It's gonna be awesome. Like, I'm actually excited for this.
It almost makes me sad that our characters like existed before this. I'm sure I'm gonna go back and fix a bunch of things, but I'm like, dang, Growliina, why couldn't I make you like a pure white wolf with all these cut marks and these glowing eyes and all this other stuff?
Ooh, and on a scale of whatever our past failed segment was, how excited are you about being able to customize Growliina separately from Susan?
Ooh, girl, so much. I ran out to Cubby Bub and I said, you are not even going to recognize Susan once Shadowlands comes out. She'll be so different.
Do you think anybody could even recognize Susan now, like in a police lineup though?
She makes an appearance every so often. If you remember, she's at the beginning of BFA. It's honestly an internal struggle whether I keep the narrative going that she is that NPC or if I just make her look cool.
She's got to look cool.
I also was just thinking about it too, like all these cool customizations that are coming out, like Immune will have to have like a makeover as well. I mean, just inherently, like she gets some bling with all this jewelry, right?
Yeah, you gotta put on that fucking booty jewelry.
I just spat my White Claw out a little bit.
The phrase booty jewelry has
Yes.
entered the room.
Exactly.
But like some of the other classes, the races, I was like, did pandas get anything? Like, I'm like, I can't tell.
At least for female pandas, they got 3 haircuts, which were,
And the males maybe got different skin colors, but I honestly feel like there wasn't that much difference. I don't know.
To be fair, though, they had a bunch to begin with.
Yeah, you're right.
So I feel like everyone's just catching up to their level.
Yeah, that's kind of my take too. They're one of the newer races, so they had a lot to begin with.
Let's fucking talk about these Covenant rewards. Let's fucking blaze through these. I feel like
Let's do these.
I feel like a lot of these seem awesome. And like, I think I'm kind of leaning towards a Covenant right now. I'm not sure yet, which I know you guys have decided, right? Aaron, you're Venthyr, and Immune. Did you pick yet?
I am still very much so up in the air, but I believe the last time we spoke about it, I was kind of also leaning Venthyr.
You guys aren't min-maxing your abilities for what's going to be best.
Absolutely not.
Nope. I just like vampires, and I'm trying to steal Kel'Thuzad's shoulders.
Let me just say, I might be further swayed by finding out that at level 40 within the Venthyr Covenant, I could become Countess Immunization.
Oh my god. The Count and Countess titles for the fucking Venthyr, that's honestly one of the best titles in this fucking game right now.
I will say their mount is kind of derpy, though.
Yeah, they're like, if we're gonna start there, their mount is definitely the weakest of the ones we've been shown, which is them, the Necrolords, and the Night Fae. It is definitely like I would get it and I'd be like, oh, that's super cool, and then I would just never use it.
Can we talk about the pet though? I really don't understand what the pet is. His name is Sinheart, and you get him at Covenant Renown level 23 for the Venthyr. And it's like a rock that has tree branches for arms and legs.
It's a little grave man.
Yeah,
It's
well,
a little rock man.
I was going to say, what is not to understand here, Slide? This is Sinheart, the dancing rock with leaf and root arms and legs. No face, but that's him.
He's like a World of Warcraft version of Mr. Potato Head, minus like the face accessories. He's just arms and legs on a rock.
I hope he does a little dance when you summon him.
And what exactly is the Venthyr mount? It looks like a goblin bear. Like, it has goblin-esque ears, and I like, what even is that thing?
And then I will say, the like seat that you have on it with like kind of like the I don't know, are those like torches on it? I think that's kind of cool, but I feel like that's the only part I like about it.
It harkens back to the Horde mount from the Burning of Teldrassil, which had like a super cool gothic seat. I just want to be on there and then ignore the fact that I have like a weird rhino man that looks like a thumb under me.
Now, I kind of feel like the Venthyr mount is going to work the worst. This mount looks very familiar. On my BFA Collector's Edition, I have a horsey, and they have a backplate very similar to this backplate, and the way you move is so rigid that it looks like you're on a really uncomfortable roller coaster, like climbing up a hill, the way that it rocks you back and forth. And this back seat looks just like that. So I'm a little worried on that aspect.
I will say, though, as far as the collectibles go, I think the Night Fae win this round for me because the pet is so cute. It's like this little Groot-looking thing with this cute hair. It looks... Actually, no. I'm going to go back. It doesn't look like Groot. It looks like the pre-evolved form of the one Digimon in the original series. I totally forget its name, but it's the one that evolves eventually into the giant cactus. That one. So it's cute. So is this mount, this epic dark rune stag. That's a sick mount.
I also love on the little plant girl how she has like little ribbons tied around her roots and this little cute pink bandana under her neck. Like, she is very adorable.
She ain't got nothing on my boy Sindheart. She can't dance on those trunks. Not like he can with his trunks.
I think I will say, though, the Night Fae has the weakest title reward. So their title is Winter's Envoy. So it goes after your name. So it'd be like Immunization, Winter's Envoy. I think that's kind of lame.
I don't even understand the reference, honestly.
Well, the Winter Queen is somebody who, like, rules the Night Fae. So, like, it's her, like, her shit. Because, yeah, so each covenant reward, which we did not say before, you get a weapon illusion, you get a heartstone, you get a pet, you get a title, and you get a mount. And then you get followers. Who cares about followers? So which makes me think, though, people are going to be like, oh, I have to do all 4 to get all the cosmetics and titles. It's like, yep.
That is the number one, the very first comment on this Wowhead article is literally like, oh no, my worst dream, my worst nightmare come true. I have to do them all.
I mean, you have several years to do this. Like, you will have alts, I assume, right?
I'm over here eyeballing the Necro Lords, though. Now, what I like the most is that their pet is currently unknown, which means it's got to be better than Sindheart, right? They're working on him over here.
Nothing's better than Sindheart. It's just going to be Sindheart, but he's going to be green.
No.
And his name's going to be Sindfart.
Greens and Vart.
But the title for Necrolord, not as cool as Venthyr, but it's Baron and Baroness. I feel like Count is much better. But Baron Slidewhistle, Baron Allen. Ooh, I like the sound of that. I don't really care that much about the mount, I don't think. It just looks like a ram that went through like a fell car wash. Like, it looks kind of just like a spooky ram, basically.
Yeah, he's just a bony boy now.
I love how, like, everyone's like, all right, the last one, the one nobody really wants to do is the Kyrian.
Except that, you know what?
And then it's like...
So I'm going to be the Venthyr because I like everything about them. But Count is pretty cool. But fucking Growliina, Hand of the Archon, is like, what? Like, I gotta have...
That does sound pretty sick. I gotta
have a tune come through this so they can be the Hand of the Archon.
That is pretty cool, and we don't really know what else they get because literally almost everything else is unknown, so...
Maybe they're, like, working on it to make it the sickest, because they're like, well, everyone's seen the Kyrian, everyone's kind of written them off as, like, the goody two-shoes, so we're gonna give them the best fucking shit, that way we can get people to come over to our side and fill them out. I think I am leaning Necrolord, but that doesn't mean I'm leaning Death Knight. I think a Druid Necrolord would be kind of fucking sick.
You're dedicated to the preservation of the world, so go join the stinky death cult.
We gotta save her. Now, Aaron, does it affect your decision at all if one of the Kyrian followers' name is Mikanakos? Mikanakos? It sounds kind of like your old Shadow Priest, Draenor or Draenei. What was his name?
Good old Sergiamenos.
It sounds like his brother, Mikanakonos.
You know what? I will have
That
to
could
do
be
that.
you.
I'm shifting my entire worldview now. I'm tearing down all my Venthyr posters because Mikanakanos kind of sounds like Sergiamenos.
Sergian. My God, I can't even say the name.
Waka waka,
Sergiamenos, Hand of the Archon.
God, that'd be so sick. He's level 62 now. I can beef him up. I can get him ready.
Just level 3 more times, and you got him.
Well, I think it's about time for us to dive on into our sexiest NPC of the week.
Please. I'm on the edge.
Of glory, and the CDC recommended sexual encounter with strangers during this pandemic. But this week's sexiest NPC of the week is everyone's favorite Lich Daddy, and I'm talking about Kel'thuzad, baby.
And I'll have you know it is not going to be sexual relations with a stranger, because I've known this boy ever since Classic, ever since Warcraft 3, and I can tell you he's a classic piece of assic.
He's also maybe one of the reasons I may be choosing Necrolords, because apparently the Necrolords get to go beat him up in the Shadowlands. And if I get to get my hands on that fucking bony-ass body, you know I'm going to do anything to do it.
Ooh, just thinking about the bony, frozen body with that really, really cold gold and jewelry and chains. So cold.
Oh,
God.
it's so cold.
In chains.
All I know is we summoned this boy up.
Kel'thuzad in
We
chains.
summoned this boy up with some stank juice, and I've got a little bit more juice to give him.
Now, we don't know where his phylactery is on Azeroth, but do you think if we found it, we could skull fuck it and he would receive sexual
You think
pleasure from musticking our dicks in the phylactery?
His soul is floating in there, and he's like, I sense a disturbance. There's 3 penises entering my phylactery.
Is that enough to summon him?
I think it fucking better be, bitch. 3 at once? Come on, man. Take what you can
I've
get.
been to college, he says out of the phylactery. I can handle a lot more than 3.
That's honestly a very good, like, classic Kel'Thuzad voice. Like, not his current voice, but that's basically his, like, classic
Thank you.
WoW voice that you just did. Ooh. I'm trying to think of a good pussy joke because he loves cats, but, like, it's not coming to me. So I'm just letting it be known that I tried, but I failed.
Everyone, I'm going to need you to clear some space. This one's going to take a little bit of thought. So,
Hang on, move back.
he gives me a bone.
All right. Yes.
Yep. I'll be here each week.
I would like to engage in sexual activity and also be chained to Kel'Thuzad.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Would it be illegal to fuck him because he's dead? So, like, do the laws of Azeroth allow us to fuck him?
Okay, so calling the DN Army, if anybody is a lawyer who specializes in Azeroth law, let us know if necrophilia is legal in the plains of Azeroth. Or maybe we could take it to the Shadowlands. It's probably legal there. They're probably different code of rules. I don't know.
He's got to cross fucking plane boundaries.
There's a strong case against my client in the plains of Azeroth. You see, he had his relationship with his undead lover in alternate Draenor. And who are we to adhere to the laws in alternate Draenor?
Even the law does not like to think of alternate Draenor.
I love his little hood. His little hood looks like one of those egg chairs that like every college dorm had that you would sit in. He's living in fucking high class comfort over here.
Kel'Thuzad went to Bed Bath and Beyond, and he was like, I am going to go even further beyond.
Bed, Bath, and beyond the realms of possibility and using this chair as a headpiece.
Please don't shit in my phylactery unless I'm hungry. Skeletal wink.
Ew.
So are we saying that Kel'thuzad is into that kind of...
All right,
Shit.
well, Kel'thuzad, your awards in the mail. No, Kel'thuzad,
He's into poo-poo stuff.
Send him his award. We're not talking about pooping, eating poo-poo, eating the poo-poo like ice cream. No, take your award, Kel'thuzad. You nasty ass. What's wrong with you? You have sullied this great show.
Sullied the show? Really? Is that what did it?
Yeah, the poop jokes have gone too far. Well, I'm cleaning this up now. We are now a rated PG podcast.
I'm ashamed of us. We just installed a bidet this week.
How is that related to being ashamed?
Like, we should be past the poop play. We have a bidet now.
You still poop with a bidet. You still take the dumps.
But it's clean.
I guess. I suppose.
Well, anyway.
Like Aaron has left the chat.
Well, I mean, no. Honestly, I'm just sitting here, hashtag peanut butter and jealous, but I would not install that because we live in an apartment. I don't want some other crumb bum after us taking advantage of a clean beehole.
Fun fact, it's actually very easy and it moves with you. We can now say as bidet sponsors. It took about 15 minutes of install. You just screw it into you literally just take out toilet seat, put in like a different water line, but it's very easy. It's just one pipe, and then you're just done. That's it. So join the bidet bros, Kel'thuzad, because your award's in the mail, baby. And now it's time for our top two, bottom boot, medium moot of the week. Aaron, what is your TTBBMM?
My TTBBMM of the week is the hangout sesh that we all got to have while we were getting our Ember Drakes, our Karazhan mounts. It was just a fun night. Ugg was there. Cubby Bub was there. We all posed with our mounts. We went in. We had one heck of a session with 3 hots, no cots. It was good to get back to the old format after 86 some episodes. It was a fun old time.
Yeah, definitely was.
I forgot that we did a 3 hots, no cots. We had, 3 different guests that we got off the streets of Borealis?
Yeah, we were most successful by luring them into the Borealis Inn. And we had one of the tables there on Proudmoore. And we just interviewed a few people about random topics.
I just want to use my time now because I'm the one with the show and you're not, guy I was debating. The Volpera would taint the Force, and you know it. So you get to think about that now.
Yeah.
But Immune, what is your TTBBMM?
So along the same lines, I have a top 2 in regards to that same night. I was going to add on to it and say that my top 2 is all of us doing some PvP together. We played the Balls Brawl. And not only did we all queue into it, we somehow were paired with like 4 or 5 of our other guildies on the same team.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very random, and maybe it shouldn't be a top 2, but I just thought that was so crazy and wild for that to happen that it's deserving of a top 2. And also, I just really had fun playing balls because I love that brawl.
I'm actually convinced that it was 2 teams of 5 of our raid team. So like we had 5, me, you, Cubby Bub, Ugg, and Aaron. And then it was Latros, Khan, Phi, and 2 others who like they are not like with us, but they have raided with us like a bunch of times. So it was an oddly full raid group that we got absolutely ball stomped in. But it was still fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And then the game after that, we waited for them to assumedly queue. And then when we saw that we were there, they were in a game, we queued again. And then we got a game that was much easier to win. And we were the ones who did the stomping, which was nice for a change. But Slidewhistle, what is your TTBBMM of the week.
I got myself one of them top toots, but the more I think about it, I'm like, is this really a medium moot? But I'm going to call it a top 2 because I haven't had one in a while, I feel like.
Nope, it's been a lot of Nyalotha-based bottom boots. Or, I'm sorry, Najatar-based.
Oh, God, don't remind me. But so I've been obviously gold farming for the mount, whatever. And I have been reusing Trade Skill Master, which tracks all of my gold that I've ever made on every character. And I can do a breakdown of like my past year in gold, and it's hilarious seeing how my graph was like inclining. Like last year, it was going up, and then I watched it crash. It crashed 600k, and I was like, "What the hell was this crash?" And then I remembered it was that stupid fucking flag that I bought on the black market
the flag
auction
of
house.
ownage?
Yeah. And so it showed me that dip. But for the longest time, basically it said that I was in the red because I bought that flag. Officially, as of maybe 6 days ago, I am back in the green. I have made back enough money that I have outdone the flag, and I am back to where I was and then some. That TSM was like, congrats, you are officially making money if you count your whole year as a expense sheet. So I'm like, I did it. I beat the flag. But now as I'm saying it, I'm like, wait a minute. If I had that 600k, I'd only need 400k more, and then I'd be done with this Brutosaur Mountain Hunt. But it's still a top 2. I also still use the flag on the regular. I killed Horde the other day, and I put that flag on their body, and I spit on them twice. So I'm doing the Lord's work out here.
God.
You are going to get that flag's money's worth.
I have to, but we are done. I gotta take a massive Duke and make me a sandwich.
Make sure that I have my big bony mouth underneath.
No.
I'm
No.
gonna eat it like Pac-Man.
Get out of here.
Ooh.
I don't like this. Kel'thuzad's gross. Where's our other Kel'thuzad? Where's our million copper whatever pyramid Kel'thuzad? That's who we need.
I can't do
I don't
that
think we want to
one.
remember that either.
It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Do you want a bad segment or me to eat your doo-doo?
Bad segment. If you have any comments, questions, complaints, or you want to weigh in on the bad segment versus eating poo-poo debate, send us an email at donotrelenttpod@gmail.com or tweet at us on Twitter at donotrelenttpod. Also, if you're looking for a guild and you're on Proudmoore for Shadowlands, we may be recruiting a few healer or 2 or DPS. Just shoot us an email. Do not go to the guild directly. They don't know about the podcast, and they'll be very confused.
That has happened in the past.
It was not fun to figure out what happened. What about you guys? Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex, or you can follow our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at The Big Cheesy on Twitter. And you can find our literary musings, when I remember to do them, at livejournal.donotrelent.com.
Okay, we're leaving. I have some fist weapons to craft and then sell to a vendor immediately. So we'll see you guys next week. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.